All right, we're testing this thing out. See how this thing works. Can everybody hear me out here? All right, I see some thumbs up.
Great.
All right, great. I'm gonna give it, I see the boat crew too. Hell yeah, man. Who's gonna carry the boats? I'm gonna give it about another 2 minutes, minute and a half. I don't wanna start this thing off and, have people miss out. Goggins for president. I don't think they want me as president, man. I'm a little too real, a little too raw. Well, first of all, before we start, I want to thank you all. And this is I don't speak bullshit at all. I don't care who likes me, who doesn't like me. It took a long time for me to get to this point in my life. But this community that you all have started, Eric, Lisa, Alfonso, and everybody else has started, this is a beautiful thing, because when I was coming up, if I had something like this that I could bounce ideas off of, and a lot of times, I'm not saying you guys are miserable, but I was miserable. And when you're miserable, misery loves company. Not to say that everybody here is miserable, whatever, but you want to know that other people are going through bad shit and are struggling with trying to be a better human being and trying to get to the other side and all that other stuff. And people who are coming out on this, you guys are having some raw stuff. I have a few people following this for me. I'm very up on what's going on with this community. It can't hurt me. Even though it's my book, it's great to see that this isn't about me. It's really about you all trying to be better. So it's 9 o'clock right now. Once again, I can't say enough how much this is such a beautiful thing, and I wish that more people in the world were getting down and dirty the way you all are, because it's just beautiful. I see some of the pictures, some of the posts, some of the people who haven't gotten off the damn couch in years, who are now saying, fuck it, I'm getting after it. I'll try not to cuss so much, just in case there's a lot of young kids watching there, man. But let's get after it right now on some of the questions.
So I'll just read to you the questions that were submitted by the group, and then we'll try to also take live questions as you see them pop up on the screen. One of the things that was asked was, what message would you add to Can't Hurt Me now that the ink has dried? Is there anything you didn't include?
Well, just so you know, Can't Hurt Me, there's actually a Can't Hurt Me 2 and a Can't Hurt Me 3. Can't Hurt Me had 500,000 words that we had. And I think, how many we put in the book?
Just about 100.
We put about 100,000 in the book. So there's 400,000 more words that are left out of Can't Hurt Me, with tons more. But one big thing about that is I ain't talking a lot about my father. And I'm going to cover that a lot in the next book about, I can cover my father a lot, and I also can cover a lot about my mother. I painted a picture that was very truthful, very real, but I left a lot of stuff out just because of not having their blessings. My father is dead, but I will touch upon that a lot more. But I've talked to my mom about some of the issues that she dealt with, and I had to deal with her, that I didn't put in the book because of, hey man, some people are really embarrassed of their lives. And I had to protect a lot of people in this book, but I'm going to be able to open up a lot more about what really changed my life and how I was able to kind of get over these hurdles. But that starts with my mom and my dad.
Great. Do you think you would be as mentally tough if your life hadn't been so hard?
Would I be as mentally tough if my life wasn't as hard? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. And the reason why, I didn't have a lot of people in my life. And like I said, I'll touch about it a lot more in book 2. But I had 2 options: to either lay down in a corner and just feel sorry for myself or get up fighting. So I know for a fact that there's no way in hell, without having every single obstacle that was in front of me, would I be who I am today. But the flip side of that is this: most people in my situation are a statistic. They are, so that's the thing about it. I mean, say, oh, well, how can I be as hard as you when I didn't have a life like you did and whatnot? Well, it doesn't take that. You know, it doesn't take that. It takes a will to succeed and a will to want to be better than who you are today.
So how do we callous our minds when we're not able to train or exercise due to injury?
How do we callous our mind when we're not able to train or exercise? Think about that. Think about that question right now. If you're not able, even though one big thing that helped me callous my mind was training, exercising, and whatnot, also studying. I'm still not a smart guy, and I got to apply a lot of effort and energy into my studies. But think about it. If you can't run, you can't work out, you can't do these things, think about how difficult that is on you already. So just there alone, you're callousing your mind. The biggest callousing I ever had in my life of my mind was, for those of you, obviously most of you have read the book, that last chapter of that book, when I couldn't run, I couldn't swim, I couldn't go to the gym, I couldn't do anything. All I could do was sit there and stretch. That is where I really found my warrior spirit. That's when I was truly tested, because it's very easy in life when you're stressed out. You know, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I don't do any of that stuff. What I do is I work out. And that's how I get all my shit off me. I work out hard. I come home, I'm fresh, I'm ready to go again. So for several months, years, I wasn't able to work out. So that's when my mind really got calloused. I had to find ways to actually strengthen my mind and my body without even working out. So I sat there in that bed and I started working on my mind, my visualization. I started having a whole bunch of goals about what am I going to do when I do get off this couch, when I do get out of this bed, and I start feeling better. And there was a big shock that I wasn't going to feel better. But if you just lay there and not have your goals list ready to go when you start feeling better, all you're doing is laying there just dying. So basically, the biggest callousing of my mind wasn't in the arena of working out, wasn't in the arena of anything, but when God took everything from me and said, now, what are you going to do? That is when I said, all right, this is the real callousing. Hope that answered your question.
All right, this is an easy one, I think. What is the most miles you've ever run in a week?
What's the most miles I ever run in a week? I did, I think, 255 miles in 1 week. But I have to say that was because I did a 205-mile run that week also.
Okay. Can we ever expect a Goggins movie?
Can we ever expect a Goggins movie? I think so. There's been a few people who've approached me about it right now. And I've turned down every one of them just because it has to be a real movie, man. Just like with this book. I self-published this book because I didn't want anybody to get their hands on it and make it some fluffy story that wasn't real. So with the movie, as you all know, when people write movies, a lot of it is fluff. This movie needs to be the real deal story. So when someone comes to me wanting to paint the real picture of my life without putting a whole bunch of fluff in it, I believe it'll happen. Okay.
So this is the question you get asked all the time. I'm sure you already know what it is. There's two. What is your stretching routine?
Okay. My stretching routine. So basically, they're very simple stretches. And a lot of people who read the book, they believe that I got this routine from this guy named Joe. Joe turned me on to stretching. I had to make up a stretching routine that fit my lifestyle and fit my tightness. So I do simple, very simple quad stretch. So you know how people sit down and they pray. I believe Muslims pray a lot on their knees and their heels and their butt touch. My heels were off my butt by probably about this much when I first started. So I sit in that for about 20 minutes at a time. And when I get to about, a pain level of 6, 7, I come out of it. So, but I make sure to do it 20 minutes, not straight, but 20 minutes in the stretch. That's one of them. Another one is a very simple Indian stretch, where most kids, most grown-ups can just sit Indian style across their legs. My damn knees were like this. So I had to get my back up against the wall And it took me years to even get to the point where I can get my knees out. So I do a lot of psoas stretching. Everything I do is very basic, opening up my hips. But what I found out though is opening up my quads. My quads were so damn tight that caused a whole bunch of stuff to be off. So once my quads opened up, a lot of other things opened up also.
Okay. I know that the question isn't on here, but I saw it on the site. If you can give any detail about your diet and how you manage your diet, what you eat.
So as far as managing my diet, what I eat, it always varies. But the biggest thing about diet for me is timing. I truly believe in timing. I shut off meals by 6:30. I don't snack at all in between meals. If you eat 4 meals a day, 5 meals a day, whatever it is, do not snack in between meals. And for me, breakfast, I'm a big believer in having a small bowl of oatmeal with protein. So basically, my breakfast is nothing but about 300 calories. Because once again, you wake up in the morning time, a lot of people want to go to Denny's, IHOP, or have some big ass fucking breakfast. Your metabolism has stopped. I'm a big believer in having small meals throughout the day with protein in every one of the meals, very little carbohydrates unless I'm running big mileage. So that's my thing. I get up early, and the earlier you get up, so let's say you get up at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, you got to eat right then. If you get up at 10 o'clock, your metabolism is already starting to slow down. So get up early, get a very small breakfast in your body, and I guarantee you by 8 or 9 o'clock, you'll be starving. And as long as you're starving, you know you're doing something right.
All right, this one's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most memorable story you've been told by a fan about how your story or book has impacted their life?
Wow.
I know.
I've had a whole bunch of stories, but one I remember was there was this young man, and he wanted to kill himself. And he went from trying to kill himself to just being a straight badass. And it's sad, but I get several of those. I get several of those a month about people who were on death's door, couldn't handle it. They heard my story. They thought that their life was real bad. And next thing you know, they're like, hey, once again, man, misery loves company. And I don't say that for everybody to be miserable. I say it because share your story. Share your story. Don't be ashamed of who you are and what you went through. Because trust me, those people who are judging you, looking at you, saying, oh my God, you're this and that, I'm telling you right now, all they're doing is hiding better than what you are. The people pointing the finger at you have a fucked up story too, man. So share your story because you help people. That's what's great about this community right here.
I guess that is one of the questions that's on here is as it relates to this book with this group, what direction, like, do you have any thoughts about where you'd like it to see, or do you love what you're seeing with it? How would you think it should evolve as it continues to grow?
Well, what I love about it right now is it needs to continue to grow with all positivity. One thing that the people who are monitoring the site, they've done an amazing job by keeping all the bullshit, all the salespeople, all the riffraff, all the trolls, people talking all this nonsense about if you're too heavy, if you're black, if you're white, if you're Jew, whatever the hell you're going through in life. This is all positivity. There's no negative. I mean, you guys may get in conversations that may get deep to help people out. But if you continue down this road of keeping off all the salespeople, people trying to market stuff, that's what I'm trying to do. That's what's done on my site. My site is all about, it's not about me. I may be up here talking. I'm trying to share something to get people better. And that's what you all are doing. So if you guys keep doing this, the sky's the limit, man. Share your stories, share your tragedy, share your triumphs, and help people out.
So I'm going to continue asking questions from here, but I know we have a few minutes. So if people want to also start asking a few questions, I'll keep my eyes on the questions and submit them to you as we go along. So people can feel free to submit more questions, but a couple others that were submitted in advance. As an introvert, how are you adjusting to kind of being a public figure and having fans stop you all the time and what have you?
Well, it's hard, because I didn't set out to be an inspirational person. All I wanted to do when I was fat and out of shape and miserable and living in my lives, because trust me, man, when you come from a world like I came from, all you want to do is pretty much hide from where you came from. So you start lying about everything you can. And so I don't know if I was born an introvert. I just became one because I realized every time I opened my mouth, it was something that wasn't true. It was something that I was trying to be someone I wasn't. So I learned to shut the fuck up, start being who you are. So about being an introvert is very difficult. A lot of people come to me, but I realize also a lot of things in life, people try to find their passion. What am I on this planet Earth to do? And everybody thinks it's supposed to be something that they need to enjoy, want to do. I have a totally different feeling about that. I honestly believe I was put here on earth to help people. And being an introvert is not going to help people. So one of my biggest issues that I deal with every day that I have to get over, and I do get over, is you have to learn to open yourself up to help other people out. But at nighttime, being an introvert, I'm exhausted because I give up myself as much as I can to make sure that I'm not that typical asshole who changed someone's life and then can't even take a damn picture with them. That one time happened to me. I met a guy named Bo Jackson. And Bo Jackson, I was in the military. I met him. It was just me and him in the back of these buses. And funny story about that, I actually talked to Auburn football team before a bowl game. Bo Jackson didn't know who I was because he wasn't at the speech I gave. So long story short, it's me, Bo Jackson, and these two cops. No one else. I walk out, I see Bo Jackson. I'm like, hey man, this guy was one of the best athletes ever. I asked him for a picture. He runs away. Now the two cops, he said, I got to get on the bus. The two cops there, they sat there and they heard me speak and they said, oh man, this was, I'm sorry that Bo did that. So long story short, I get on the bus, the same bus that Bo Jackson's on. Bo Jackson didn't know I was getting on the same bus as him. And Coach Chizik, who was the coach of Auburn, looks at me and gives up his seat because there's no more seats left. So Bo Jackson leaned over to somebody and said, who is that guy? And that guy told him who I was. And I believe he felt like, a dumbass. So I used that story to say, hey man, don't be a dumbass. Don't be like Bo Jackson was to me. So I learned a lot from that situation.
All right. Next question. What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I'm big into sports. As you see right now behind me, the TV, you can probably see a football being thrown. I'm really big into sports. I watch everything from tennis to golf to basketball to football. I watch everything. So I'm huge into sports, and that's my fun time.
Okay. And how does it feel to know that your book and message has a profound impact on so many people?
So how does it feel? I mean, it feels amazing. I truly didn't expect to sell this many copies. I didn't expect for the book to do this well. Some of you may know the background about the book. When I first tried to do the book in 2012, I sat around a table of people and they saw the book and they were like, I don't know how many people are going to want to buy a book about a young African-American that he goes, no, your story's great, but I don't know how many people are going to want to buy a book about young African-Americans. So I have a few emails I'm going to share with my social media following about some of the emails I got about people just putting everything down that I was trying to do. And it's funny, man, you have to stay the course. So I am very proud of the book, but I'm mostly proud of what the book has done for people to let them know, hey, I didn't come out the toughest man on the planet. You have to make yourself something. So I'm glad people are doing that.
All right. How do you push people around you when they can't seem to help themselves?
How you push people around you when they can't help themselves? That's a tough thing right there. And the thing about it is this. I believe in being a leader. And as a leader, the biggest thing about being a leader is you have to find what motivates someone. And it takes time. And with time, you get very impatient trying to get someone. When you realize that I did it without all this shit, and you're trying to motivate someone to be better with all these different tools and outlets to get better, and they're like, I have to have it the exact same way. I have to have it this way or not. You have to find out what motivates someone. And that takes a lot of time and patience. But if you put time and patience into it, and at the end of the day, they just don't want it. They just don't want it. You cannot force someone to be better than what they are. A lot of people just have the fuck it mentality. If it doesn't come easy, I'm not going to get it. And I'll tell you right now, man, very few things in life come easy.
So a lot of people are asking, what advice would you pass along to the youth?
Well, the advice I would pass along to the youth is this: know yourself. When you're young, all you want to do, especially me, all I wanted to do was fit in. I was one of the only black kids. I wasn't a smart kid. I had a fucked up family. I hid all that shit. I hid everything. So all I wanted to do was fit in. The best way I could was try to, if I could be just like this group over here with, like with all the cool kids, I will be okay. And what happens when you do that is you lose yourself completely. So what I did was, not only was my foundation fucked up, how I grew up from my father and my mother and everything else that happened, I then tried to be somebody that I wasn't. So then you even fall deeper into a hole. So one thing to do is accept your life. You can't pick your mom, you can't pick your dad. A lot of times you can't pick your life. But you got to realize that this is what I have, and how the fuck am I going to make it my own? And make it your own. Don't find somebody else's life and try to mimic what they do. Like right now, that's what I love. You guys aren't mimicking what I do. All I am is a spark. You heard something that resonates with you all, and you said, you know what? I can also do this. I can also be better. You're not trying to be David Goggins. You're just trying to be your best self. So the best thing about it, man, be your best self. Don't mimic anybody. If people at school or in life don't like you, hey, you're probably doing something good. And if you don't mind them not liking you, you are a million steps ahead of everybody else, because you have confidence in yourself to be who you want to be.
So a lot of people are asking about your public appearances and speaking events. So if you could address that, and also, was public speaking hard for you at first?
Public speaking was very difficult for me. For those of you who read the book, you know that I stuttered when I was young. I had a very bad speech impediment. I was that kid who, in school, when the teacher would call on me, I couldn't even, to like read a paragraph, I couldn't get the first word out. So that made me totally lock up, completely lock up. And I had a play in 6th grade, and I had one line, one simple line in the play, and it was something very easy, very stupid. And I couldn't even say the line. I walked off stage, and it was just horrible. So being a public speaker is so fucking difficult for me, because it's not like you get over this shit. You get better at it. You get better at it, and every day you have to face it. So yeah, it still sucks, but once again, you must practice what you preach. If I'm out here telling people, hey, face your fears, overcome them, don't have them own you, you own them. Take charge and command of your life. And if I'm in here like a lot of people who are motivational people, they don't live what they preach. I have to live it. So guess what? Every day I go out there and I speak, and I do my little mental self-talk about speak slow, calm down, and I have all these different tricks I do to not stutter. So yes, it's very difficult.
All right. Any recovery tips for?
Yes, recovery tips. I'm huge in amino acids. I'm huge in protein, but everything, once again, is timing. Everything is timing. You have to get these different proteins, amino acids in your body immediately after working out, even before working out. I'm big on multivitamins. I'm big on fish oils. And I'm also big on ashwagandha. There's a supplement out there called ashwagandha. Look it up. Do some research on it. Truly amazing. Really helps calm the adrenal system down, the fight or flight system. So that's a great supplement.
All right. And do you have any advice for veterans dealing with PTSD?
Advice for veterans dealing with PTSD, I do. The first thing always in life is get help. But one thing that helped me out a lot is this, man. You are stronger than what you think. your mind has a way of tricking you and fooling you, saying that you can't handle what you saw. You can't handle what you did. You can't handle what's going on. And I'm not saying everybody can do this. Get help. That's the one thing. Get help. Don't take this message and twist it into something else. Get help. But also sit back, and a lot of times help comes from you. Help comes from you saying, you know what, man? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to keep on fighting. I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to talk to trusted people. Don't be inside. The biggest thing is don't live inside. Be open, but talk to people who are willing to listen. A lot of people nowadays, this world is so fucking fast, no one's willing to listen to you. Find these people who are willing to listen to you, talk to them, and tell them everything. Open up completely. Open up completely. Stay in the gym. Stay open. Stay raw. Stay real. Don't be this guy who walks around, I'm a tough guy. No, what you saw was real, but you can handle the shit. Whatever's going on in your life, that PTSD, you can handle that shit. But you have to be open, raw, and real and talk about it. And also live your life. Don't live in a corner. Live your life. Fight. Keep fighting. That's what we know best. As military people, as service members, we fight. The second we stop fighting, all these fucked up chemicals get in our body, it's like we're dead. So whatever you do not stop fighting, because that's what we know. That's how we live. We fight.
Okay, so a lot of people are asking, they know that there's a lot of apparel out there that are you creating and not creating it, and are you ever going to do your own line?
I don't sell one single thing. I don't have shirts. Only thing I have out there is the book Can't Hurt Me. And it's on Amazon. That's all I sell. I don't sell shirts, hats. I sell nothing. But I have been working on a fucking amazing line that is, I want to talk about it so bad, but I want to surprise you all. It's a line that every time you put this shirt on or a hat or whatever, it's going to remind you of who the fuck you are. And it's going to be something that says, you know what, man, not today. I can't stop today. And I wanted to invent a line that, a lot of the stuff out there, is cheesy, all this other stuff about David Goggins and some of the quotes I say. It's not like that. This is a clothing line for the betterment of what's going on right now with this Can't Hurt Me group. This is when you put it on, it's gonna be like your armor. I gotta fucking get after it. And so I'm excited about it. I'll probably be releasing it here probably in the next month or so. I've been working on it now for several months, and nothing I do is half-assed. But yeah, I sell nothing, but I'll be selling stuff pretty soon. And trust me, you'll know when it comes out. You'll know it's my brand.
Okay, just a few more. How do you handle disappointment?
Woo! Disappointment, man. We all go through it, obviously. I'm human, like everybody else. What I realized is I've been disappointed so many times in my life that I handle it pretty well, which is sad. But the one thing I do is I have 24 hours in my life where, I'm human again. I have my own pity party. Woe is me. I may bitch about shit. Why the fuck this happened to me, man? Why the fuck? I give myself 24 hours. Really, it's not even 24 hours. It's about 12 hours because you go to sleep, you got to work out, whatever. I give myself about 12 hours. And then the very next morning I wake up, it's fucking done. It's back to work again. So you got to you have to give yourself that time to be human. You have to give yourself that time to bitch and complain and get off your chest. Like, why the fuck did I not get the job? Or why did this guy get it? But then you got to get in your right mind and say, okay, I got to get back to work again. So that's how I handle disappointment. I give myself a few hours to give myself my own little pity party. I talk about it, I bitch about it, but the second I wake up the next morning, it is back to the grind and we're done. We move forward.
Okay. What is the first thing you think about in the morning to get going?
Well, the first thing I do in the morning to get going is think to myself, I have a very weird way of getting going. I have no days off. That doesn't mean I train hard every day, but I train like heart rate. So if my heart rate's real high, I believe in active recovery. So what gets me going is this is just my own self-talk. I believe that no one else is doing what I'm doing. So the one thing you have to believe is in yourself. What you tell yourself, there may be people doing what I'm doing. I don't give a shit. What keeps me going is, David, you are a mentor. You are a leader. And as a leader, you have to do the things that you don't want to do and the things that people aren't willing to do. So that's what keeps me going every day, is that I preach this stuff every single day. And if I'm not living this, I need to shut the hell up. So what motivates me is you all. You guys may not think about me every day, but I want you that when you do think about me, know that I did do what I had to do to earn your respect today, to talk the way I talk to you all. I had to earn that respect. It's not given.
All right. How do you keep muscle mass with all of the running and training for ultras, et cetera?
So as you all know, I used to weigh 300 pounds or damn near 300 pounds. So I had a lot of bulk on me then. I'm really big into, once again, protein. I'm big into protein. And I'm also really big into eating all the calories that I lost. So a lot of runners, what they do is they don't go to the gym at all. And they want to get as small as possible to run as fast as they can. It makes sense. I'm not a runner. I'm just a person that works out a lot. So my biggest thing is I don't want to be a real skinny guy. So I believe if I run 10 miles, I know how many calories I lost. I get all those calories back in me the right way, and then a few more so I'm not losing so much weight. And I'm really dedicated. I've been dedicated for a lot of years in going to the gym. So I have a heavy day, a light day, and a medium day where I lift. And it's on those heavy days and medium days where I really get to add that muscle mass. And on those heavy days and medium days, I could be here all day talking about working out, people. On those heavy days and medium days, what I do is I don't run so much. So then I can lift heavy. So if I know I'm lifting heavy on Friday, Wednesday and Thursday aren't really big days because I want to lift as heavy as I can. And if I run 15 miles, 20 miles, 30 miles, when I go to the gym, I'm depleted. So my rep days, which is my light days, I will run longer. Therefore, it's all one big cardio session. And my reps go from like anywhere from 20 to 50 reps, sometimes 100 reps. So that's how I'm able to do it.
And do the same things push you now